What is going on, guys? This is the review Pokemon Genesect The Legend Awakened movie review, but it's going to be a little bit different. It's not me on camera telling you on reviewing the movie, or I'm doing it speed art style. This is how, well, I'm not doing a regular speed art, I'm just doing it regular, like real time drawing right now. I'm reviewing the movie Genesect. Um, Movie starts off with Mewtwo flying with a bunch of bird flying type Pokemon. I think I seen a Staraptor, Braviary, Swanna. I can't name the other ones. There was a couple other ones. Yeah, they were just flying around, and then Mewtwo, like I guess they was like racing or something like that, and Mewtwo decides to fly off into the clouds to see how far he can go. A quick note: this review will have spoilers, so I'm sorry, but hey, I gotta do it. So Mewtwo flies off into the clouds, and as it flies off into the clouds, it transforms into Mega Mewtwo Y. That's the first appearance that we see of Mega Evolution, and I know a lot of Pokemon, the ones that grew up in Generation One, gonna have a lot of problems with Mewtwo in this movie. Then again, you might not. Mewtwo voice is voiced by a female in this movie. As I remember in Mewtwo Strikes Back, the first Pokemon movie, he was voiced by a male. But oh no, then it cuts straight to Genesect. I guess you call it shiny Genesect, but it's a red Genesect, and his family basically. They stop off in this snowy terrain where they searching for their home basically. So so basically they stopped in this snowy terrain, and they was basically looking for their home basically, and I guess it's like the shiny Genesect is the father of the bunch, and then you got the mother, you got the brother and the sister, and then you got the little baby Genesect, the runt in the group. And she kept crying that she wanted to go home. She almost fell off the cliff, and they all lined up to save her. And then Mewtwo heard the baby Genesect like cry, and Mewtwo went to go meet up with all them. Heard the cry, and all of a sudden, the Genesect kept going on a little journey or whatever, and like it almost had an avalanche, and so Mewtwo came out of nowhere to save them. Basically, Mewtwo transformed into Mewtwo Y, and basically, I guess the ability of Mewtwo Y, it can stop time almost, basically, or slow it down, and that's basically what it did. And tried to save all the Genesects, and he tried to tell them calm down, and the red Genesect got all upset and told him, "Don't give me orders." And basically, they went at it. And spoiler right here: the red Genesect or the shiny Genesect, whatever you want to call it, sounds a lot like Giovanni. So we thought Giovanni was gone, but after seeing this movie, his voice is. I don't know if Giovanni's going. You might see him again in this in the universe, the new Black and White universe and beyond. Um, but yeah, the red Genesect sounds a lot like Giovanni. So basically, it cuts into Ash, Silent, and I can't think of the girl name right now, but cuts over to them, and they go to this like Pokemon resort, or it's like this special place for Pokemon. It's called Pokemon Hill. You got all types of Pokemon. You see Geodudes, you see Gravelers, you see Golums, you see a Feraligatr, you see a Lotad, you see Butterfrees, you see basically all types of different Pokemon in this place. The place is beautiful. The water is beautiful. The movie started off great. The graphics are great. Whoever did this Pokemon, or the director, or whatever you want to call it, the animator on this movie did a great job as far as graphics. I'm giving them credit to that. Um, so basically, yeah, They in this place. They Ash and them ask, can they release their Pokemon so they can go out and play and all that. And everybody released their Pokemon. Everybody go run and play. Silence Pokemon made some friends, and Pikachu, Snivy, and Oshawa ran over and joined the group, and they was all jumping around, laughing, and all that. And Sableye came out of nowhere and joined the group, started playing around. He tripped over one of them, and basically, actually was riding on one of them, and they basically just walked away, kept having fun, and another spoiler right here, let you know how in the Yox's movie, Munchlax was the comic relief. He was the little random Pokemon that's walking around, giving little giggles every once in a while. Well, Sableye is the one in this movie that does that. Sableye does some funny stuff in this movie that give you a little laugh. Then it cuts over to them touring the park, and then there was a head mage up there. Ash and Pikachu went off running, and Sableye went off running after them. And yeah, basically that would happen, and then so basically yeah, they cut through the hedge maze, and they just cut right over to Genesect, Ash and Pikachu at the I think it's like a dock, and they were looking into the water, saying how beautiful the place is, and you see Genesect right there on the side of them, looking at the flowers, looking at the water. This is the baby Genesect, and Pikachu noticed it, and his ears start going off like he got spidey sense. So basically, he looks over and sees Genesect, and he runs over. Genesect transformed into his second form, I guess is that hover form or whatever you want to call it. And they walked over, Ash and Pikachu. They was like, "What is this? A Pokemon?" And they start playing around and jumping over it, and Pikachu basically telling Ash, yes, it is a Pokemon, the Genesect transform. And first, Genesect was a little standoffish, but as Ash started talking and they start warming up and they just start saying that they wanted to go home, Ash made a promise that I will help you get back home. Well, not right off the back, but so basically, they sitting there talking. Ash Sableye transforms into his hover form. Ash jumps on and start riding it, like air surfing basically over the water, going around, going around. Came back, picked up Pikachu, so they started air gliding again. Basically running, basically flying through the air, and Ash on the back surfing, air surfing with Pikachu on the shoulder as usual. Sableye was sitting at the deck kicking his feet. It was just like such a cute little scene right there with Sableye. I can't believe I just used the word cute, but it was cute. And yeah, basically they flying around, and Silent and Iris, that's her name. Iris ran up and called Ash, and they seen Genesect herself. Genesect got a little scared and transferred back into the hover form, and then Ash was explaining to Genesect that these are my friends, you don't have to be scared, and basically it transformed back to its true form, and basically opened up and saying that they wanted to go home, and Ash made a pact that I'm going to help you get back home to wherever that is, and Iris is like, do you know exactly where it is from? And he says no, but it doesn't mean that it's going to stop me from helping to find out where, helping to get back home, basically. So long story short, the shiny Genesect or the red Genesect, whatever you want to call it, comes up and shows up, I guess, with the mother Genesect, and starts to attack Ash and Iris and all of them. And basically, Ash shows up, why you're attacking me, and the little Genesect tries to stop the red Genesect from attacking Ash and all the red Genesect attacked Pikachu. Pikachu went off flying in the air. Ash went to go run up to Pikachu, and basically with typical Ash, mean face, why you attacking me and all that. And basically the baby Genesect is trying to stop them from attacking him, and basically the shiny Genesect is the controller of all of them. Basically he sends out a mind signal, and basically they do what he say. And the baby Genesect was trying to fight off from attacking Ash, basically. And what he did, well, basically what happened next was, alright, so basically the baby's Genesect tried to save Ash and Pikachu and Silent and Iris from Mommy and Daddy Genesect, basically. And then when Mommy and Genesect and all of them try to attack Ash and Silent and Iris, Mewtwo wound up popping up, transformed into Mega Mewtwo Y, stopping time, deflecting the blast, and basically the Genesects flew away, and basically Mewtwo took Ash, Silent, and Iris down underground, and basically was explaining to them. Basically, Mewtwo still doesn't trust humans in this one. Basically, what they try to do is basically make it seem like the first Mewtwo movie never happened. Like Ash has never seen Mewtwo before or battled Mewtwo, but basically Mewtwo doesn't trust humans and he doesn't trust Ash. He's basically Mega Mewtwo is basically saving Pikachu and Axew, basically. And Ash made Mewtwo tell them who was that Pokemon that he was battling with earlier, or who they saved him with from earlier, and he basically told him Genesect. Genesect was a fossil Pokemon that was reawakened by humans and had lasers and stuff attached to them. Basically, they were man-made just like Mewtwo was. Mewtwo was cloned by humans. We all know that from the genes of Mew. So Mewtwo basically gives him the cold shoulder, says, forget that you ever saw me, flew away. Ash went to the Pokemon Center to get Pikachu healed, and he was telling Nurse Joy, about what happened, and they never heard of Genesect or Mewtwo, basically. Nurse Joy, and basically what happens after that, it was a cutscene to, I'm trying to think. Hold on. All right, I'm sorry, I got ahead of myself, but Team Rocket was on top of the little hole where Mewtwo dropped Ash and them in, and they was listening about Genesect, and you know how Team Rocket is. They get hyped and want to catch the newest and the latest Pokemon that they just gain information about. So basically, they want to catch the Genesects and make them part of Team Rocket. So long story short, cut back to the Pokemon Center where Ash is telling them about what happened, this and that, and basically what happens is that it's nighttime, cutscene, the Genesects are taking over the Pokemon Hill. They destroying everything, basically like what Deoxys did in their movie. It's taking over everything, running Pokemon out. All the Pokemon is gone, and the only one was left was Sableye and Feraligatr. Sableye runs to go tell Ash, what's going on, and basically brings them to what's going on. The Feraligatr is stayed there to fight off the Genesect, and basically Feraligatr is a one-man army right there. So, long story short, the battle going on, the power keep going off and on in the whole city, and it cuts to Mewtwo standing over top of the New York City Bridge. Basically, this region of the Pokemon is basically a copy of New York City. Mewtwo's on top of the bridge. It cuts to a little monologue how she was created by humans, how she broke out and attacked everybody, And basically, what happens is that it was flying away to find a place to live or whatever, and it got struck by lightning, so it fell to the ground, and it found this cave where Pokemon was hiding out from the thunderstorm. It was a Tangrowth. You can see a Tangrowth, a Heatmore, and a couple other Pokemon. And Mewtwo got struck by lightning again and fell in. And basically, Mewtwo woke up to being held by those Pokemon in that cave and basically being saved. And so it found out that it did have friends, which were the Pokemon. Um, then it cuts back to Mewtwo standing over the bridge. Little birds flew up, told Mewtwo what was going on, and she says, "I understand," and just flew away to where the Genesect was to take care of the problem. So basically, Mewtwo gets there and tries to persuade the Genesect that they shouldn't do this, they shouldn't do that, and the shiny Genesect and Mewtwo go off into this this crazy battle, and the biggest issue, I'm getting ahead of myself again, but the biggest issue was the power going off in the city. They went down to the little place where the main generators are for the whole city, and basically the cocoon that the Genesects were putting together for them to generate their own home in the Pokemon Hills were going through the floor and basically attaching itself to these generators, and basically was making the power go off and on, go off and off, on and off basically, and it could potentially lead to the whole city blowing up basically. And so long story short, Feraligator's still there. Feraligator cuts through the cocoon and start fire blasting off at the Genesect. And so basically he's going off, like, basically Feraligator's like Mewtwo supporting fighting cast in this movie. And don't forget, Team Rocket was there to try to catch the Genesect. The shiny Genesect seen him and blasted him away. Basically, Team Rocket got the short end of the stick this whole movie. So Feraligator was battling the Genesects, and Feraligator was falling, and Mewtwo saved him. Used Psychic to save him, and sitting down, Mewtwo went to go battle off with Genesect. Her and the red Genesect flew off into the city, and basically she's trying to persuade him and tell him that we're not don't attack the Pokemon. Basically telling him to basically be careful, and trying to tell him that we were both not made for this planet, or whatever the case may be. And Genesect telling her, "Don't tell me what to do." Basically, he has it's a control issue with Genesect, basically the shiny Genesect, and he's shooting beams. And it cuts to the scene where Eevee is asleep with his two trainers, and Eevee sees Mewtwo and Genesect outside the window, and he starts growling. And basically, Genesect kept trying to attack Mewtwo. Mewtwo was like, "F this, I'm going to Mega Evolve into Mega Mewtwo Y." And basically, they going around the city. Like, Mewtwo is just like stopping time here and there, and it's just like Genesect is fast as hell. Like, red Genesect, well, all the Genesects are fast as hell. Like, when they transform into their hover form. And basically, they're going around the city. Mewtwo stopping time, they bouncing from hair to hair. You see the lightning and stuff in the sky. The graphics is great. They made New York City and Pokemon Town look great. Almost like it was like a cartoon. It is a cartoon version of New York City, but it's like you see it like that's that's New York City when you see it. That's why I'm like, oh, this is New York City. And They bounce around, and it cuts back to the Pokemon Hills. So basically, it cuts back to the Pokemon Hills. Ash is there trying to stop the Genesect, basically, and then Silent and Iris show up with all the Pokemon that were chased out of the Pokemon Hills. The Golems, the Geodudes, the Gravelers, the Butterfrees, the Rocks, and all of them. And basically, they come there, they team up, and try to stop the Genesects all together, along with Feraligatr. You got Houndoom. You got all try to stop the Genesects, but the Genesects are too strong, so they start taking, like, basically trying. Pokemon trying to stop them, the Genesect try to stop them from destroying their new home. And so the Red Genesect assume their position, like each one of them are like just send out these powerful rays, and they just start wrecking stuff. So basically Ash being Ash, she went to go stand in front of the Pokemon from getting attacked from that Mega Beam from all 4 Genesects, and the baby Genesect jumps in front of Ash to save Ash. And basically Ash gets separated from the smoke and all that, and the baby Genesect is basically has fallen and basically been knocked out, and Ash is trying to wake it up, and the eyes just go black, and all the Pokemons are looking sad, and it was a real sad moment. You got to admit. And then the Genesects continue to attack, and then Mewtwo, and the cut from that, Mewtwo shows back up and basically says enough is basically Mewtwo is like, enough is enough, we have to end this. And basically they're battling around the home, and stuff start catching on fire. So Ash sends out Ashiwa to use Hydro Pump to stop the fires, and the Feraligatr steps up to help him, and the Geodudes and all of them step up to help, setting up sandstorms and all that. And basically Mewtwo takes the Red Genesect and just fly off into the atmosphere, basically saying, like, since you don't want to listen, basically like, you don't want to listen, I'm taking you here. And all the other Genesects is still there fighting, and then they recognize all the fires and stuff that's happening around, all the destruction, and the beam was fell on them or whatever it was, and the Pokemon shot off. The Pokemon basically saved them. So Ash went to go save, I think it was Genesect that fell in the water, and the beam was falling, so the brother and sister and the mom Genesect shot off their rays and destroyed the beam that was falling. So about to fall on top of Ash and Pikachu. So they all came together and stopped all the fighting, and like Mewtwo, and then it cuts back to Mega Mewtwo and Genesect flying off in the atmosphere, and then you see the sun coming over the horizon, and basically Mewtwo was explaining to Genesect, the shiny Genesect, that this place is beautiful. This is the place where we were created, and this is where we came from. And all them people down there are our friends. And so basically shiny Genesect had a change of heart, basically, after seeing the sunrise and looking at the earth from out the atmosphere. So Mewtwo stuck his hand out, and she says, let's go home. And he stuck his little claw out, and they fall back down in the atmosphere. And then Mewtwo lost consciousness again, going through the atmosphere, and basically Genesect says home, and it sends a signal to the baby Genesect, and she says they're falling. So all the Genesects transform into flying move, go out there to go save Genesect. So Ash sends out Charizard, and Iris sends out Dragonite to go help So they basically fall in a big ball of flame. The Genesects shoot out their web, try to catch him, and they caught him for a moment. Then Dragonite and Charizard got under the web to help out and basically try to stop some of that force coming through. Basically, they all break away and they fall. They keep falling, and basically Ash and them trying to figure out a way to help. And basically, the Ralts and all his evolutions, and basically all the Psychic Pokemon and Sableye did a whirlwind in the water, like Psychic wise, and Feraligatr and Oshawott basically did like a big ass bubble, and basically caught Mewtwo and Genesect in the bubble. Mewtwo and Genesect came to consciousness. They seen everybody, but they fell in the water. Ash, Feraligatr, and I think Pikachu jumped in the water to go save him. And Mewtwo said, when they came to consciousness after they got out of the water, Mewtwo said, "I'm fine." He flies out the water. She flies out the water. See, I keep calling him an M because I'm used to Mewtwo being a male. So they fly out the water, and basically she explained to Genesect, "These are your friends," and he was saying, "These are all my friends." And Ash figured out, basically, long story short, Ash figured out a place where they can live. They find them a new place where they can live, where their original home was, where the lotus flowers, where they got in the movie, came from. And basically Mewtwo comes down and says, "Thank you for finding Genesect a home." And basically Mewtwo starts to like humans again, basically saying, Ash was basically saying that we are friends. And Mewtwo was saying, "I will hold true to them words," transforms into Mega Mewtwo Y in badass fashion and just flies away. So that's how the movies basically end. The baby Genesect comes up saying that, "I like this place, I like all of you," and all that. So basically, it's a good movie. Only problem I had with the movie was Mewtwo. I know that's a small reason because I'm used to Mewtwo having a male voice. I don't have nothing against that having a female voice, but come on, man. You know, Pokemon. I don't care how old you are, but you remember Pokemon when Pokemon was Pokemon. And movie was great. Watch it if you haven't seen it yet. I'm sorry if I dropped some spoilers for you, but it's my Pokemon Genesect, The Legend Awakened review. It's the first time I'm doing something like this, and in my next video, I'll be reviewing the 2 episodes that they premiered of Pokemon Series XY. I guess they're giving you the first 2 series of the season whenever they drop it. But thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, share.